My name is Luca. I'm 20 years old and I've been training parkour for about 3 years. Parkour is about maneuvering around the environment and overcoming obstacles with control and technique. The parkour community is a big community and it's growing. It's getting bigger every day.
Parkour in itself, one of the objectives of the sport is to break mental barriers. One of the objectives of parkour is to break mental barriers, to be able to do something that you wouldn't have thought of doing the day before, to materialize your thoughts into, to break the, to be able to get rid of mind block and just let your body flow in a spot. Call it, I don't know, a roof, the city, two walls that are next to each other. You know, if you if you can allow yourself to move freely, that's when you're doing parkour. An average training for me is just you walk from spot to spot and you stay there about 1 hour. If you want to do conditioning, then you stay for a bit longer, probably 2 hours, and you just move spots once you're done with it.
My favorite moves are compris. Yeah, compris are when you run and you vault over a wall with both hands and you land on another wall on the balls with your feet. You always have to land on the balls with your feet so that you can take the impact and absorb the impact. My favourite spots are in Stratford, and yeah, I live in Stratford, so
I guess the public opinion towards the sport could be a downside. That like you're like likely to get into confrontation when you're training in public places, because the view of Londoners towards parkour is that they don't understand the sport, so they just judge us and they try to kick us off spots a lot of the time. That just makes it, if you're not mature enough to deal with a person that's complaining about you training in a certain public space, it can lead into confrontation. And a lot of the people who are joining the community are very young, and these are people that are like enjoying these confrontations, are just giving a bad name to the community. So I guess that's a downside. People think we're vandals sometimes because there's a lack of understanding of what our sport actually is. Personally, I started doing parkour as a sort of meditation. I would focus myself on one thing, and that would divert me from everything else that was going on in my life. I don't. I do it for luck. I do it for fun and leisure at the moment, but it started being like a very personal mind training of mine. And parkour is one of those things that, like, when you get a jump the way you want it to, or when you do something you weren't expecting to be able to do, is rewarding. And that just like really helped me divert and focus my anger and like whatever was going wrong with myself or with my life into something. So that's how I started, as a sort of meditation, and I ended up realizing that I could progress into it, and that it's actually a great activity and great fun.
sometimes you just have to go for it. It can be scary, it can be even dangerous. But what's the point if it's perfectly safe? Like there's no risk factor, then it's not as rewarding. It's not as challenging.